Hi YouTube, hot rodders of all kind. Today is December the 6th, 2015 on a Sunday morning. And as you can plainly see, I think the last video I made, I was getting ready to paint this car. Well, hard to believe, but it's painted. And well, I might add. Excuse me. Stripes came out tremendous. The paint is a custom mix. Doesn't really have a name, but we just kept messing with it until we got just the right tone on it. And I think it came out tremendous. It's a matte finish on it. And it's pretty dusty from sitting in the shop right now, but I wanted to make a video because I'm doing some things to the car today and wanted to keep everyone updated. But I think the stripes turned out tremendous. I think the paint turned out tremendous. My partner Rev did an outstanding job on that body work, and the car looks great, and it's well on its way to being put back together and ready for the street. So sorry about all the commotion here. I'm using a cord from my camera, so I'm having to take it all around with me. I also got the windows tinted, as you can see. The guy did a great job on that as well. It looks great. I think it's going to work out perfectly. I already got the taillights in it and working, and I've already had the car down and had the new exhaust put on it and a front end alignment, so that's all been done. And hang on a second, I gotta get more cord here. Sorry for the poor videotaping, but I am just a hot rodder after all. There we go, that's better. So you can see that the car's been painted and striped, and the only other thing I want to do now is I want to do an accent stripe on the outside of the big stripes. I've pretty well convinced myself that it's going to be the same color as this, running right down these lines on the outside. I think that's the best option. I thought about red or yellow or kind of a raspberry color, but I think that silver would really make that look nice. You can give me your thoughts on it, but at the moment I'm leaning towards that. I think it'll make them stripes pop, and I think it'll go real well with the trim on the windows, which, by the way, I might point this out. I don't know if you can see this on the video or not, but what I did was I stripped all the shiny stuff off this trim work. It just didn't look right with the flat paint. So I took a wire wheeled it all down, and then took a red pad scrubby and scrubbed it all nice and clean. I think it looks pretty good. It ain't perfect. It's obviously got some places in it that look different than the other places, but I like it. I think it goes good with the theme of the car. So yeah, the car's all painted now, getting put back together, and I drove the car down or back from the front end alignment shop, and that's when I discovered I had a problem that I needed to address. Every time you kind of, it runs down the road just fine, but if you goose it at all, or if you hit a bump, well, here's what happens. It's rubbing on this side up in here and cutting that tire. So we can't have that. And not only that, but I don't think the car is sitting at just the right. It's on the lift today, so pardon me for not being able to give you a side shot of it, but the back end of the car is definitely lower than the front end of the car. I think that's part of the problem. The other part of the problem, it's a 12-bolt posi rear end. It's in there, so it's not obviously a stock rear end. It takes up quite a bit more room. And it's just causing the car to squat on its tires. On this side of the car, the tire is hitting right back here. In fact, when I was pulling it out of the shop one time, it just froze up against there and wouldn't move. So I've got to address that problem, and the way I'm going to address it is, after doing some research on the subject, this is what I'm going to do today, is install this. It's a airlift airbag kit, and along with that is an 1.5 inch spacer, spring spacer, that goes under the springs. It looks like a lot of space, doesn't it? I'm really curious to see how it turns out. I don't think the bag's will be enough to stabilize the car, but I could be wrong, and we'll find out soon enough. If I have to take the spacers back out, I will, but I think with the added 1.5 inch and the airbags inflated to just the right pressure, I think that I can get the attitude I want and the stability that I need. So that's what my plan is for today. Now, hopefully, because every time you work on a hot rod, it goes absolutely perfectly, right? I know it does for me. I'm sure it does for you too. I'm sure there's minimal cussing and knuckle busting and things like that. I did want to show you this too. After we painted the car, I put this bracket back in it, which goes vertically, and the grill attaches to it. Okay? Well, what happened was, for some reason, it twisted this area right in here, or it twisted that whole header and it cracked it right here, so we had to go back and redo it. No biggie, really, I mean, but it does take time, and Rev was good, man, he was cool, he fixed it for me. So I'm going to lift it in the air and show you what else I'm doing today. I've already removed the drive shaft and just letting it hang there because I didn't want to drain my transmission. American Eagle rims. I like them. Alright, so give you an idea what the exhaust looks like. I hope you can see this. I think you can. It's got a real nice dual exhaust system on it with Flowmasters. 2.5 inch pipe all the way back, coming out of those Sanderson headers. Guy did a real nice job on this exhaust. I'm really happy with it. It sounds tremendous. I'm going to make a separate video of the car running because a lot of people on a couple of websites I'm on asked to hear it. But I had it dumped right there at the rear end on both sides. Everything's nice and even, and man, it really sounds good. Really happy with it. But this rear end here, and here again, I hope you can see this. Let me grab this flashlight. Whoop, hang on. This rear end is equipped with upper and lower. Here again, the whole car is really dirty from sitting in the shop. When I'm done with everything and the car's on the street, I'm going to completely detail it. But it has lower adjustable control arms and upper adjustable control arms. And it has the late model Camaro shock springs on it, as you can see. But I don't have any pitch in my rear end right now, so I got to take those upper ones off, adjust the angle on the pinion, and then put it back together, along with the airbags and the spacers. And hopefully I will solve all the problems with the rear end. Lakewood shocks, 50/50 shocks, 12 bolt posi rear end, as I mentioned before. So that's my task at hand today, to get all that done. hopefully it'll go just like clockwork. So that's the update for now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Always enjoy reading the comments I get. Everybody's pretty generous. You know, you guys are pretty good about encouraging someone who's on a project like this. But that kind of keeps the guy going. So that's the video update. Watch for the video of the car running. And thanks for watching. If I don't talk to you before, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Take care now. Well, it's a few hours later here, and happy to report that everything's gone together very well. And you know, a little trial and error. I've never put airbags in before, so it took me a minute. But it's all installed, and as you can see, the airbag is into the spring very nicely. I actually had to reroute the airline because the first time I did it, I put it in over here about 3 coils down, which is not any good because it got pinched in there when I put air in it. So I had to take it back out and run it at the top of the spring in the front to give it enough room for the spring to flex. So hopefully I won't have no more trouble with that. And you can see that I put the spacer in the bottom of it, and it really helped the car to sit up nice and straight and strong. Gave me plenty of clearance. I'll show you that in just a second. Those are airbags that I just installed on my Vega. Hopefully I did it right. And those are 1 1/2 inch spacers. So I'll lower the car down now and show you where I put the air. I ran 2 separate lines, drilled a hole in my frame connector and put it right there. Makes it pretty easy to get to, plus it's hidden, nobody will see it. Same thing on the other side. So all the air lines are tucked away real nice, and I don't think I'm going to have any trouble with that. So I am a little bit concerned about that airline right there, but I think it's going to be just fine. So let me lower the car down and we'll take a look at it and see what we got. Thrilling video, isn't it? I know if I was you watching this, I'd go, Let's just take a look and see. Feel free to sing while you're watching the car being lowered. I know it's pretty exciting stuff. Tell you what though, it really made a difference in the car. The way it sits. Look at all that room I have now. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Plenty of room both in the front, on top, and in the rear. Same thing on the other side. I was pretty skeptical about airbags at first, but man, I'll tell you what, I can tell it's making a huge difference. Huge difference. I mean, I could barely get my finger in between there before. Now look at that. Heck, I could put 2, almost 3 fingers in there. So I should have more than enough space now to keep the car off the tires. And from the rear, it looks pretty darn good. Gonna have to put a little extra air on that passenger side to keep that side up just a touch. But after I get everything put back together, I'm going to do a video of the car running and let y'all see it after it's finished. That'll be the next time you see this car, is after I get the front end pieces in and the rear end pieces. Getting close to completion here. I'm pretty happy. I'm going to take it on its maiden voyage this coming weekend. So we'll see how it goes. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.